Reporting to you from Duck Creek, I'm Heidi, and this is the Duck Creek News. First off, I wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for watching. We want to start doing weekly news segments. We're hoping to have them out every Friday morning. So if you ever have news you're dying to share with us, please let us know. Have you noticed smoke southwest of Swains Creek? Well, I have good news for you. That is a prescribed burn, so please do not report it. Speaking of burning, see what I did there? The burn pit is now closed in Duck Creek for the year, but the Kanab landfill is still open. I do have some bad news to report. The property tax bills have been mailed out this week, and the overall response from Duck Creek residents is definitely not positive. Many residents have reported that their tax bills have nearly doubled from last year. Stay tuned later for real live reports from some Duck Creek residents here. So, now that we have the bad news over with, let's talk about something fun. I know, Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Aunt Sue's is doing their annual Thanksgiving buffet. It's from 11 to 4 p.m. It is recommended to have a reservation if you have 5 or more guests. Santa is coming to Duck Creek. Mark your calendars for November 29th. Lunch with Santa will be from 11 to 2, and the annual tree lighting ceremony will be in the village from 6 to 7 p.m. It's always an event you don't want to miss, and it's always a classic. It's always one of my favorites. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to the True Value Country Store because they're celebrating not 5, not 10, but 20 years here on the mountain. That is quite the feat. Living here in Duck Creek is definitely not easy, and it'd be nearly impossible without them, so we just want to make sure they know that we appreciate them. And not to toot my own horn, but my husband and I are also celebrating 3 years of owning Duck Creek Village Inn. We absolutely love living in Duck Creek. There's nowhere else we'd rather be, but Duck Creek is such a gem. Have you noticed that there is no snow on the ground? Well, stay tuned because Amber's here with our weekly weather update.
Hey there, Duck Creek. It's shaping up to be a perfect weekend in the mountains. Friday through Sunday, daytime highs will average around 62, just right for a light jacket and some sunshine. Once the sun sets, though, it'll dip to a chilling average of 31, so keep those fireplaces crackling and those blankets handy. Looking ahead into next Friday and Saturday, there is snow in the forecast. Winter might be trying to make a little comeback in the mountains. We'll have to keep an eye on those clouds and see what they bring. So grab your favorite flannel and enjoy another beautiful weekend in Duck Creek Village. Off to Patrick with some interviews.
So I'm here with Mitch. And Mitch, you took over the True Value about how many years ago now?
About 3 years.
3 years. And you guys are celebrating your 20th year here in this store. How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good. I'm happy we made it. I know a lot of companies don't when they start up here, so.
That's an excellent story. And I got from your parents a little bit of questioning remotely, so we'll go ahead and go over to them now.
Cool.
All right.
Hi, Patrick.
How you doing? Yep, thank you very much for putting this together. Hey, just wanted to let you know that, boy, oh boy, has it just been a lot of fun living on the mountain. Did this right at 20 years ago. We built as of November 1st, we built that store, opened it up, and it's been challenging, and it's been just so much fun for our family. The greatest thing is getting out of those cities and living up in the mountains, and boy, what a blessing.
Yes, thank you to all of you who have supported our business along the way. It's really allowed us to have a wonderful life. Like Doug said, it's oftentimes challenging, but we wouldn't have it any other way. We really love this community and are super appreciative of being able to live here for 20 years and do business. Patrick, you asked us a couple of questions. One of them was, what have we noticed change-wise in 20 years? And I think, obviously, the elephant in the room is the huge growth, especially after 2020. And then the second question you asked us, Patrick, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes, is The increase in taxes, really the increase in assessments for our services in our community. Like I said before, Doug and I have really noticed the growth, although it's been positive, it's put a huge strain on our services. The increase in the fire assessment or the services assessment for that service district that encompasses fire department, plowing, EMS, and such. While it's really difficult for all of us, like I said, we get great service for that. It's necessary. Whether you're here part-time, full-time, just visiting, those services get used. You want those services to be there, and it's just something you can't afford to skimp on. There's just no better way to say it. We have a lot of assets, properties and homes and families that come to visit, and we need access to those, and we need medical services. Can't tell you how many posts I see of people going to the fire department for every little thing, you know, cuts, scrapes, bruises, lost pet, and those services are always there for us. And I think that's amazing for a small rural community. I mean, I would go as far as say they're more like a city, like city services, wouldn't you think, Doug?
Yeah, because really it wasn't that long ago we didn't even have an EMS truck. I think it was
An ambulance.
An ambulance.
I don't know, time flies by, but maybe 5-6 years ago, things have really come around and they've met the challenge. Unfortunately, that's very expensive to do. It's just part of the greater good. We need those services. I trust that the fees that they're charging us are fair and commensurate for what they're doing for us.
I'm here with Mike Kenner.
I've been here almost 50 years now, and I would say the single most important factor or change would be the water systems that went in. There were 13 water companies at one time. Now we have one county controlled, and with that, it allowed for better fire protection, the roads to be plowed. It allowed families to live here without worrying about water resources, provided better insurance, and actually for the lenders too, to loan on the property.
Okay, thank you. And how do you feel about the recent tax increase, and what do you think the impacts will be on the community?
The tax increases are going to force some people to sell that probably aren't using the property, you know, as they slowly creep up, and the fees have increased drastically. If you look at those fees, $500 for the fire, I think it's $225 for garbage, and it's $265 for snow plowing. It's just the cost to those contractors doing it, and to pay the benefits to the employees of those entities is they want an increase, they want benefits, and it's just costing more for services. So that's a big factor that people, I guess, have to consider. If you want services, we have to pay for it. But,
And that's definitely something we need up here with our area.
right. There's been instances late at night where I've had cuts or needed to go to the fire department. I had people that helped. There's people with ambulances, and I would say the most dynamic incident I've saw the benefit of all the infrastructure of the fire department was the kitchen fire at the Pine Woods 4 or 5 years ago, and we had trained people went in the building and saved that building, and probably saved the neighborhood. That would have been millions and millions of dollars worth of loss, and probably affected the whole area. But the training and with the equipment we had right there came to play. Plus, goes back to the water. Having the water source to be able to put on the fire was very significant.
Okay, thank you. So that's definitely something we need.
Yes.
I'm here with Zach, and Zach, I want to hear from you what's some of the biggest changes you've seen personally since you've arrived in Duck Creek.
So I've been a property owner and resident for about 20 years, and probably the biggest change we've seen is the growth. COVID really expanded things, and the growth and the lack thereof managing that growth is, from the local perspective, is probably the biggest changes we've seen.
Okay. And then, so the other question, the big one I've been asking everyone is, how do you feel about the taxes and the increases that everybody has seen in their bills?
So yeah, most of you know I'm very involved in this. I sit on a bunch of the boards for the fee portion of those taxes and that thing. nobody likes taxes. I pay them like everybody else. I own multiple properties on the mountain, so nobody's going to be happy about taxes ever. With that being said, I would encourage people to take a look at your tax bills year over year. County general fund percentage rate has gone down over time. The school district's gone up. It's hard to argue with educating your kids and making sure they have a good education, whether it be your kids or somebody else's kids. It's a round world, and across this whole country, we're trying to make sure we have an educated youth coming up. The hot topic really is boils down to those fees. Those fees exist because we're not an incorporated town. We don't have any income source to pay for those services any other way than doing fees of that nature. The fire fees jumped up a lot. I'm the clerk of the fire board, so I'm the driving force behind some of that. So I'm sure that'll make some of you want to scream and yell at me, but it's for good reason. Our fire department's changed a lot. We went from partial paid volunteer fire department to fully staffed 24/7, 365 fire department with full paramedic service. So what used to be fire only and no EMS now includes EMS. Night and day difference from 6-7 years ago. I don't want to take up too much time, but anybody that wanted to know more about that, we could dive into it. On the trash district board too, that fee jumped up last year. It's the cost of service, it is what it is. More trips to the mountain, that's what it is.
Yeah, it is absolutely needed. And as I was part of the fire department, I've seen all the big changes and the upgrades of equipment and personnel that we've gotten. I thank you for your time, Zach, and I'll get out of your hair now. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in. This is the Duck Creek News, where the weather's cool, but the people are cooler. Have a great weekend.